Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So we all know that Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the most interesting NBA stars to come through the NBA, and probably ever, right? Probably ever, given his background and just the way he's been able to kind of, improve throughout his entire NBA career. He seems like a very down-to-earth kind of guy, but he also seems very focused on his craft. He seems like a no-nonsense type of guy. Giannis, to me, from the outside looking in, from a distance, just looks like a worker, a hard worker that just put his head down and just really, really focus. Since he got drafted into the NBA in 2013, Giannis Antetokounmpo has done nothing but improve every single year he has been in the NBA. And I think that speaks to his mentality, because I think Giannis looked at the NBA as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He said to himself, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can set myself up to be able to take care of my family for the rest of my life, but also make an impact, not just be one of those players that came and went and everybody forgot about. But I really wanted to make an impact. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, you can tell by his commitment to the sport and his craft, that's exactly what he did. If you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo's career trajectory, if we just look at his regular season, and before I actually get into his regular season, we have to also focus on the fact that Giannis has put on close to 50 pounds of muscle in his career. 50 pounds of muscle. For any of you guys watching this video that are into fitness, right? Y'all know how hard that is, right? Especially for some people that seem to have a quick metabolism. Looking at Giannis, looking at his build, given the fact that he looks so lean, it looks as if he's one of these people that has some difficulties holding on to muscle. I could be wrong, right? He looks like one of these guys that can eat a lot and still not gain weight. So for him to put on that amount of muscle on his body is extremely hard. But let's get into his development over the years. When Giannis came into the NBA in the 2013-2014 NBA season, the guy averaged 7 points per game. The following season, he doubled that to 13 points per game. The next season, he bumped that up to 17 points per game. The next season, he bumped that up to 23 points per game. The next season, he bumped that up to 27 points per game, and I think that's when he won his first regular season MVP. He scored 27 points per game, shot 53% from the field, 30% from the three-point line, 76% from the free throw line, got you 10 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1.5 steals. These are absurd numbers, right? The next season, he bumped that up again to 27.7. Right, he was shooting 58% from the field, 26% from the three-point line, 73% from the free throw line, got you 12.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks. The next season, he averaged 29. The numbers just pretty much stayed the same, double. And then last season, he averaged 28 points per game. If you look at Giannis's career, his sort of the trajectory of his career, all Giannis has been doing is just improving. Period. End of story. Forget about the fact that people say he can't shoot. Go look at his numbers, and you'll see that this is somebody that has been working on his game, and over time, he has been improving. Although Giannis is not a tremendous, or a great rather, perimeter shooter, at least he's not afraid to take those shots, right? How are you going to make shots that you're afraid to take? Giannis doesn't have that type of problem, that mental block or whatever it is. And he doesn't walk around peacocking like a lot of NBA players out there that are not even half as accomplished as he is, but still walk around and feel like as if they should get the same level of respect and adoration from fans, which is something that is beyond me, because in reality, it doesn't work that way. If you step outside of the context of the NBA, you're talking about reality. People that don't do anything don't get to sit up there and act like as if they've done something, and walk into rooms and act like as if they've done something compared to people that actually have. That's just not how reality works. But in the NBA, it seems to be a different thing, because it seems as if whether you win or not, you're still going to make money. And I think once you make money, people feel as if I've accomplished something anyway. So I was listening to a clip of John Salley on Vladtv. And John Salley, I listen to a lot of his clips when he goes to Vladtv, especially his basketball takes, right? A lot of the other stuff that he says, I don't understand, I don't really agree with. But when he gets into the basketball stuff, I usually like to listen to that. And John Salley kind of has this thing where he now perennially, whenever he goes on the show, he kind of makes these yearly predictions. And this time, again, he made a prediction. So before I go too far, what I want to play is, I want to play what John Salley's predictions are for this year and some of the comments you have to make about Giannis Antetokounmpo. So take a listen to that in this soundbite here.
And you're very good at this. You're the best person I know at this. Mm-hmm. Who's playing the 2022 NBA Finals?
It's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers against the Milwaukee Bucks.
This choice here does not seem non-obvious. This one seems like almost like an easy choice.
I was going to say Philly, but because of the distraction of the Ben Simmons situation,
that's going to throw it off.
And Doc Rivers can't get guys just to lay it down like they did in Boston. He doesn't have a KG.
Okay.
He doesn't have a Truth. He doesn't have a Ray Allen.
Okay.
And that's an important situation.
Who's going to win?
Oh, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win in 5 games.
5 games. It's not going to go to 7.
Going to beat the shit.
So LeBron's getting another ring.
LeBron's getting another ring. LeBron's going to end with 5 rings.
Okay. So you basically counted out KD at this point.
I know. I'm sorry, KD. I love you, man. But it's not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why.
I mean, number one, do you consider Kevin Durant the best player in the NBA?
Yes.
So the best player in the NBA is not going to the finals.
He doesn't have the support and cast. He doesn't have what he had in Golden State. He doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
If he did, and I love Harden, and he's the hardest guy, one of the hardest guys to guard.
Yep.
But they would need a whole bunch of dogs on that team, and they just don't have them. And I think the dogs are on Milwaukee.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's
we're going to see how good Giannis really is in this next finals. We're going to see it. He's going to have to be as good as he was in the last game. Now he made everybody a believer, but he's going to have to do it again.
Yeah,
and LeBron's not going for it.
Now in that clip, he said that he thinks the Lakers are going to make it to the NBA Finals. Well, that's something a lot of people agree with, right? A lot of people feel that the Lakers are going to make it to the NBA Finals. So there's no surprise about that. But it was what he said after that really surprised me. He said he feels as if when the Lakers do get to the NBA Finals, they're going to face the Milwaukee Bucks, fine. But then he said they're going to beat the brakes off of the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis has to prove he can do it again. That's the part where I'm like, okay, hold up a second. Here we go again with the same old talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's amazing to me. We live in a world in which, and in this case, we're keeping it in the context of Giannis and basketball, in which we ask people to do things. The moment they do those things that we ask them to do, we now say, okay, do it again, because I want to be sure that you're able to do it. When the first time you were criticizing the guy for not being able to do it, he does it, and now you're saying, well, I don't believe you really did it, so do it again. What? Like, what are we talking about here? The fact of the matter is this: Giannis doesn't have to prove a single thing. There are a litany of players in the NBA that have a lot more to prove than Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if we're being honest about it, a lot of these guys that I said earlier in the video, I'm going to say it again, there are a lot of guys walking around the NBA who have not accomplished half of what Giannis has accomplished in the NBA and have definitely not even won an NBA championship, but walk around and still feel as if they got game and they all of this and all of that. Giannis ain't got a bleeping thing to prove. If he retires today, he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. Period. End of story. Period. If he retires today, he is easily a Hall of Famer. And I'm still surprised that there's some people out there who try to invalidate this guy. Try to validate what he did. Do y'all realize that Giannis had one of the single most impressive, if not probably the single greatest game in the history of the NBA Finals with that 50 point? I mean, it was a complete tour de force. It was a tour de force. And then to add insult to injury to the haters, the guy went out there and hit 17 out of 19 free throw, which is the bane of his game, which is the worst part of his game. He goes out there and in that game, he's easily a Hall of Famer. I don't even want to hear it anymore. A lot of people are going to say, well, this time we're injured, that guy got injured. It's part of the NBA. Every single year, players get injured. And oh, by the way, Giannis Antetokounmpo also got injured too. So what's your excuse? He himself got injured, but miraculously, he was able to return. The fact of the matter is this: injuries are a part of the game. Give the guy his props. He has nothing to prove. He doesn't have to do it again and let me see it. No, the guy did it already. There's nothing else for him to prove. If you feel the Lakers are going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, no problem, right? Have at it. If you think they're going to beat them, let them beat them. No big deal. But the fact about people feeling like as if Giannis has to prove something, Giannis doesn't have to prove anything at all. He already proved it to me. He already proved it to me that on the biggest stage, when all the chips were on the line, he was a star that shined the brightest. And to me, I think it's that simple. Period, end of story. If he doesn't win another NBA championship, he's already going into the Hall of Fame. Period, end of story. And these are my thoughts. So what I want to know from you guys is, first of all, what do you think about his predictions? And what do you think about this notion that Giannis has to prove something? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.